Guys, welcome to the video. Now, this video is on about when your deep breathing is not really working for you. So if you're an athlete and you've been using my tech tips and techniques to actually deep breathing, and you might be going into a race and you've been trying your deep breathing and it doesn't seem to work. And plus you might get certain restrictions in your breathing as well, where you don't seem to be able to take in enough breath and you feel your breathing is restricted, your body's or your lungs aren't, they're kind of disabled and you're not being able to take it in enough breath, or you're getting kind of blocked up nose. So these are quite common occurrences when this happens. And when this happens, we've got to break this pattern, because when this happens, it's getting worse. The breathing's not taking you into a parasympathetic relaxed state. So we have to find some other way of doing it so we can release the breathing a little bit more. And the best way to do this is, first of all, is I go to my Be Activated muscle activation. So this is what we need to do. Is when you do, if you get to the point where you've got a stuffed up nose and inhaling through your nose is quite difficult, you get very stuffed up up in the head, and also there's a restriction in your breathing, then we have to break this pattern. And one of the best ways, easy ways to do it, is the Be Activated diaphragm release technique. So this is where we actually doing an activation all the way up. It's like an upside down Y. So we're all the way up in this position. And what we want to do is actually get to the point and rub against the ribs all the way up. So we're rubbing up at the ribs, and what you'll find is it might be quite tender and tight there. So we don't want to go too heavy. We don't want to start digging in. Okay, it's a light thing that you want to do. So what you do is pushing up against this, and you're just kind of just lightly rubbing against the edge of your ribs and going all the way up. And you'll find that actually going in between where the kind of two edges of the ribs meet, just below the sternum there. Now, you'll come across a xiphoid process there, which is a bone just sticking out in between the ribs. We don't want to go there. We just want to leave that well alone. So we want to keep along the edge of the ribs. And you'll find I've got a little bit of tenderness there, just a tiny bit. And what you're rubbing in there. And then you're going up into the breastbone, the kind of the sternum there, and you're rubbing up there. Now you can use two fingers. This is what I learned from Bev Perino, one of my colleagues, another activator. So this is a good way of just opening up. And you work all the way up towards, and I don't want to go into too much near my microphone. It's going to be worse off for you, so I'm just going to point to you, and you go along the collarbone as well, just in around that area there, and just rub in there now. And then you just relax and just let your shoulders drop and sense how you feel. And you will probably find is that this is a great way of releasing the diaphragm to work, because what's happened when anxiety hits and stress hits, what you want to do, what it does is it restricts your breathing, makes your breathing not more shallow. So this is what this done is the activation. It just releases the diaphragm, activates the diaphragm to work at its optimum. So you'll probably find that actually your nose starts to clear out as well you do that, because one of the reasons why it's working there is because you're concentrating on yourself and how you're feeling. And once that does that, that's one way the actual nose will start to clear itself. It's taking you out of your mind and what you're doing now. And what you'll find is that your nose might actually clear up a little bit more. And what you do, if you start to breathe, you'll often find that your breathing is opened up a lot more, and it's almost, you get that kick, that kind of feel-good factor when you breathe in deeply. It's almost that hit that you get, that kind of, oh, that feels good, that feels good. So that's one way of doing it. The other way is actually, that's the perfect one just to do a race if you're feeling the deep breathing's not working for you. So that's one great way. The other way is to actually simply slow your breathing down. We want to get ourselves out of the anxious state. So if we find the breathing's not working with us, we've got to stop doing it and just stop and go put ourselves back into our body. So what I mean by that, and I've done a couple of videos on that, and I feel it's really, really important because it gets us out of our mind. It's the mind that's causing this tension. It's our thinking of what we want to do in the race that's actually causing the tension. And what we want to do is make sure that we're not allowing the mind to get hold of us and tighten us up. So by actually just feeling our body, feeling how our body feels, that is one way of taking ourselves out of the mind and just getting into our body. So it's kind of like a meditation. It's like what I was talking about in the mind and connecting mind and body video, is to actually just simply a meditation, just feel your body. And you're not taking deep breaths in, You might be taking light breaths, but the main focus is there is just feeling your body. Now you can start inhaling through your nose. You can start breathing a little bit more deeply, just observe. So what main idea is just to observe. We're not taking big belly breaths, we're just observing our breathing more than anything. And what we want to do is take a pause at the end of each inhalation. So at the pause of each, and a pause at the end of each exhalation. And in between that, as we pause, we want to feel our body. So take a deep breath in. That wasn't much of a pause, but we'll try again. So we're taking not a deep breath in, but just a breath in that's an easy, a breath that's easy. You're not trying to take in as much air into your stomach this time. You're just trying to actually just observe your breathing and breathe through your nose and out through your mouth. And watch you just observing your body. Pausing in between each breath. And you're just slowing yourself down. You're slowing your body down. You're definitely slowing your mind down. And bring the relaxation response. So when we're trying to breathe deep breaths, sometimes we can try too hard and make it even worse for ourselves. We don't want to work hard at this. We're just going the opposite direction. So that's a great way of actually doing it. You can do the diaphragm activation, the be activated diaphragm activation. This is the very first activation I do in my diaphragm activated free sequence, because the breathing is so important for the muscles to work, your hip muscles to work, for your general relaxation. You can, or the other way is you can just slow yourself down, slow your mind down and slow your breathing down, and observe your breathing more than taking deep breaths in. You're still inhaling through your nose, but it's inhaling slowly through your nose. You're taking a pause at the end of each inhalation and then breathing out. And after that, you're observing your body. And once you find that, you'll find your body, you'll start to slow yourself down. Your nose starts to clear. You start to be able to breathe again and open up your breathing again. And we're breaking that cycle of stress and anxiety. So hopefully that video was helpful for you. If you found the breathing, the normal deep breathing is not working for you, then this is the way to go. And it's obviously, maybe the deep breathing has got a shelf life to it as well. It's great for a period of time and opening up the lungs, but after a period of time, you need to slow yourself down and slow your breathing down and slow everything down and slow your mind down. And this is a great way of doing it. So if you like the video, please share. If you can actually just like the video. And also I've just to announce that I'm on TikTok as well. So if you want to get on the description level, just go down into the description and join me on TikTok. I've just joined there. So if that's where I'm going to be giving you more bite-sized, more kind of minute long, obviously, little tips and meditation and things that are probably more kind of applicable and probably more time efficient for you. So if you want to do that, join me on TikTok, link in the description. But for now, thanks for watching.